ready to get off on this stealth camp now. Got all my gear set up in the back. I've got a little bit of food, water, milk, they're all stashed away. I've connected my main battery supply, and I've made sure my lights are working, stuff like that, so it's all set to go really. I've even connected and switched on my electric blanket, so that will be warming up as we drive down, because it is cold outside. Forecast tonight is going down to about -1, but I've done it before. I've done it in -5, and I'm quite confident I'll be plenty warm enough in here. I can sort of feel the adrenaline building, the excitement. I know it's only a simple stealth camp, but it's exciting. You can feel the excitement building. So we'll head down. It's only about a 20-minute drive, and then I'll come back to you probably as we get down to the car park. I'll see you in a little bit. So we've just arrived at the station. Head to the car park now. So I've just got to get my ticket. And now to find somewhere to park and not prat about like I normally do when I'm trying to find somewhere to park. I've seen the perfect spot. Right, arrived, I got my ticket, and I parked in a perfect spot. I've got right next to this hedge, so I've got cover from the camera up on the right hand side. But yeah, my heart were beating a little bit, wondering where was I going to park, and that you don't want to be too out in the open in a way with no cover. Anyway, parked up now. Now normally I would get straight into the back of the car and that's it. No walking about, hidden away in the back. But as this video, I'm trying to show you how I stealth camp in car parks, etc. I'll film a little bit outside, and we'll see what it looks like. I did put, you can probably see, I put that side screen and that side screen. I put those up before I got here. I didn't put the back one on. I've had a couple of situations where I've parked in the wrong spot and wanted to move, and because I'd got all the screens on the back, I couldn't see a thing and I couldn't reverse out. So I've not put the back one on just in case I had to reverse out. So I'm going to get that rear screen on and we'll have a look, see what it looks from the outside. Hopefully it just looks like a small car parked up in a busy car park. Nothing out the ordinary. I've got a great spot next to the hedge, providing a bit of cover, and there's nothing to indicate that somebody could be sleeping in there. Feel a bit conspicuous filming like this, so I'm going to wander into the railway station for half an hour and then I'll return to my car a bit later. Just been killing a bit of time walking around the station. Just starting to go dark, so I'm going to head back to my car now. I'm going to get straight in the back, so I'll see you back there. Pleased to say I'm all settled in my car now. When I got back to the car, I cracked open the 2 front windows. I've also got these 2 windows open about 25mm, and that should give me adequate ventilation. It's going to be cool tonight. Got an update on weather forecast, -2, which is good really, because it proves how good this is. I have slept in it down to -5. I've been fine. Got this electric blanket on and I'm plenty warm enough. Probably later on when I go to sleep, I'll actually turn it right down or right off. That's my battery monitor, and it's on 98%. So I have a massive battery underneath here. It would run this electric blanket for about 3 days if I wanted. I'm gonna make a drink in a bit, and I use my induction hob, and that hammers the battery a bit, but that's what it's there for. You've easily got 1 or 2 days power for doing a little bit of cooking, keeping warm, lighting, charging, etc. But yeah, all settled in. I feel very safe and secure now. It's a little bit stressful getting into the car park. Where am I going to park? Is anybody going to see me? Like the CCTV cameras that I said are on either side, I don't know if they're manned or they're just to record and probably refer back to. I just don't know. And same with your airports and that, they have CCTV, but do they man it, or is it just to record? I don't actually know. But I've got everything I need for a comfortable night. This post here does several things. It's got my light on it. Is that on? Yeah. So that's the light I will normally sort of read by or cook by or anything like that. You can dim it, so if you hear voices, you can dim the light right down. It's got a USB charger built in, so I can run my phone continuous. What else have I got? Right, this little device here, that will clamp on there, can put my mobile phone in, and I can look at TV. It's like laid in bed looking at TV. I can catch up with SAS Rogue Heroes, which my wife doesn't like, so this gives me opportunity to look at the TV that she doesn't like. I'll just take that off. Well, that just clamps on the central post. So this post, it went in to support the curtain rail that blanks off all the front of the car, but then I found out it serves several purposes: the light, the TV. So yeah, it's very useful. As I mentioned before, I've got this cabinet that's fastened on back of the driver's seat. You have lots of little bits. I've got my glasses, keys, that switches my inverter on or off, various leads, my clock, torches. There's lots of little bits, and you want them at hand. You don't want to be looking from on the floor or anything like that. So that, yeah, that serves its purpose. That people will ask, can you lay down? Well, this is a passenger seat, so if I lean it really forward, it gives me quite a lot more room. And if I sort of lay diagonal, I could lay straight out. I am 5'9". I was 5'10" about 10 years ago, but I seem to be 5'9" now. Another part of getting older. But yeah, I think I can more or less lay straight out with this seat pushed forward and leaning right forward. But you don't often sleep like that. Quite often you'll curl up slightly. I certainly don't sleep straight out. So yeah, I have got plenty of room. But I'm looking forward to a very relaxing, peaceful night. Once you're in, then the stress is out the way and everything should be okay now. I should be comfortable right through to the morning. So what I'm going to do in a bit, I'll get my induction hob set up, and I think I'm ready for a drink of coffee or something like that. I'll see you in a little bit. Time for a hot drink, I thought. Got a nice drink of cocoa to make there. That's my induction hob. Now, apart from my 170 amp hour battery, I've got a 1500 watt inverter underneath the passenger seat, and that will drive the induction hob. So it's just a matter of switching on. There's my boil. Press the boil. Now I can adjust that. So I put that down to 800 watts. It will run it at 1000, but there is a chance it could trip out. So at 800 watts, it'll probably boil that in a couple of minutes. If you can hear a noise, it's possibly the fan of the inverter kicking in, or I can hear the induction hob now, so it could be either. But for me, it's a lot more fun, and it's a lot safer than using gas. I won't fancy using a gas burner inside a car. It's alright in a tent because you got lots of ventilation. This is like a sealed box nearly, apart from where I've got the windows slightly open. So I wouldn't want to use gas in a car, and I wouldn't even want to keep a gas cylinder in a car. Who's to say it's perfectly sealed or it won't leak? I like using the inverter to heat the water. You can see that's coming up to boil now, so it doesn't take long at all. It probably takes about, I don't know, 4 amp hours out the battery, but there's plenty of capacity. But I only want that well, I don't want to boil it because I want the less steam in here the better. But I'll give it a little bit longer, and yeah, that's nearly boiling. So that took no time at all. I'm just going to knock that off before it starts boiling. So that's it, yeah, it is as easy as that. I'll use the induction hob in the morning probably to make some porridge, but and a hot drink then. That's the main use I do have of it. Right, we'll try and get this in here without spilling it. Leave room for some milk. I think on the last video I did stealth camping, might be a year ago, I did have a kettle, which was okay, but I found the pan a lot more useful. You can boil your water for your drinks, but you can also make your porridge in it and eat from it. So it sort of, the kettle was okay, but all it was there for was to boil water. You couldn't do anything with. So I found that pan a lot more useful, and obviously it's got to be a pan that's suitable for an induction hob. Let's give that a stir. Certainly not easy filming in a small car. I've got my milk over there. I'll get my milk in and finish my drink off, and then put the camera at the other end and have a quick word with you. A few other things to tell you. Very nice. So, like I said, I don't do too much cooking in here. I basically have if I'm going on a stealth camp, I have a big meal before I go, and then I don't really need much in the evening. I've got stuff like that, so hot cross bun and a few chocolate bars, a couple of drinks of coffee or hot chocolate, and that'll do me really. But what I do keep in the car is I always think if I've been somewhere and the flight's got delayed, or I get back to I don't have chance to get a meal, it's good to have something in here. And I've got a a tin of stewing steak, Marks and Spencer's, mind you, their chunky steak, a tin of potatoes and a tin of peas. And I think to myself, I could warm that up on the induction hob and actually get a meal if I had to. So that's like an emergency in a way, where I do need some food. But most of the time I would eat out, and I just use the car for drinks and sort of limited meals really. Now, one thing we must talk about, just get that out there, is toilet facilities. So a lot of it, majority, that suffices. That's 3 litres. No matter what you've had to drink in an overnight stealth camp, you would have difficulty in filling that 3 litres. But you've got to think, there might be the odd occasion where you get caught out. I've only recently thought about this. It could be that you can't leave the car because it would blow your cover, or I don't know, it could be that there is no toilet in the area. You could be a mile from the nearest toilet. So I came up with what I can only describe, it's for emergency use only. It ought to be a red box, this, or perhaps a black box, I don't know. But I thought, what happens if you get caught out and you've got to go to the toilet? I mean, number 2s I'm talking about here. What do you do? And you can't get out, you can't leave the car. So I came up with the idea of like a Tupperware sealable box. In here, there's some toilet roll, some wipes and a towel. I think my idea was to sit it on the towel. So I'll leave it to your imagination. But you'd have to use this, quickly seal the lid down and probably put it under the seat until you find the nearest place to dump it. But you've got to face these situations, and it's better to have thought about it beforehand than getting caught out. I once heard of somebody at work, I think, using a carrier bag or something like that. So you don't want to be in that situation really. Glad we've covered that, glad we've covered it. So there's not much else. I mean, I think a few videos I've done, I've covered most I can about car stealth camping. It's a bit like a 2-man tent, and you haven't got a lot of room to do a lot at all, but you can sleep safely and warmly. You can cook limited food and nobody knows you're there. So it serves its purpose just perfectly. I'll finish my drink off and then I'm going to have a few hours of TV, as I've got everything set up, and catch up on a bit of TV, perhaps look at a bit of YouTube or something like that. But I'll come back to you before I go to sleep, have a last word and see what the temperature's like. Like I say, I think it's going to drop tonight, but I'll be fine in here. I'm plenty warm enough now. I've switched my electric blanket off, and I suppose your body heat and general heat in the car, it keeps you warm, and that it's only a small insulated space in a way. Anyway, come back to you in a bit. See you for now. Well, I've had a very relaxing evening looking at TV and a bit of YouTube. Very relaxing it was. I've eaten all my buns and all my chocolate, and I suppose it's getting on for midnight and it's probably time to try and go to sleep. Hopefully the sound of passing trains will lull me into a deep sleep. Anyway, before I go to sleep, we'll have a quick look outside. Just gonna knock all the lighting out, and then I can open this window and have a look. Just a last look out before I go to sleep. I've been hearing people walking by, cars starting and leaving all night. Cars all next to me, they've all gone. At this rate, I might end up on my own here. I suppose railway car park is a bit more short term than a airport one. Anyway, we'll have to see. So I'll say good night, and I'll see you in the morning. Night then. Good morning, everybody. Just got breakfast on the go. Cup of hot chocolate, basically because I couldn't find the coffee, and a plate of porridge, which I'm just making now. I'm just cutting it. I've managed to turn the induction hob right down to 500 watts, so less chance of burning. I'm just keeping it moving while it cooks. But yeah, that looks okay. Bit hot at the moment, that porridge. Might let it cool down a bit. But yes, a very comfortable night. Got a 13 tog duvet, feather duvet, and my electric blanket, and I was plenty warm enough, and it was cold outside. In my pub shed at home, I've got a remote thermometer which I can read on my phone. I don't know if this will show up, but if you look there, it went down. It was minus 2.7 degrees C. That was this morning as I got up, so it had been really cold in the night. Not too much condensation, but as you'll see from this picture, that's looking out the side window, and you can see there's a layer of ice on the outside, and this is looking to the front of the car. The side windows are pretty clear, so not much condensation, the ventilation works, but the front window, that is covered in ice, and it is actually inside and out. I tried to rub it with my finger, and it's totally iced over on the inside, but I never felt any of that. I was super comfortable and warm in here, so it shows you can sleep comfortably with the right gear, the electric blanket, the duvet. You can sleep really comfortably in a car in really low temperatures. I've used probably about a third of my battery capacity, so I'll be using a little bit more, but I dare say with the capacity I've got, the 170 amp hours, you could sort of comfortably survive a couple of nights in the car. Usually if I do a trip abroad, I spend the first night in the car, in a car park somewhere, do the up early, back late on the trip, and then sleep the following night. So yeah, you do spend 2 nights in the car, but you're only really making drinks and a bit of cooking. It's the hob that uses the power. If I just ran the electric blanket and lighting and heating, it'd last for days. It hardly use anything up at all. Anyway, I'm gonna get my breakfast finished, and then hardest job of all, I've got to get dressed. It's not easy in a little place like this, but I'll get dressed, get tidied up, and I'll see you probably outside the car. See you in a little bit. I'll finish my porridge off. Back outside my car now, and it is a beautiful sunny morning. I think it must have been very clear last night, and that's why the temperatures dropped so much. Now, if I was going on an early morning flight somewhere or a train trip somewhere, I would feel totally refreshed and raring to go. I had a really comfortable night's sleep in my car. It sort of shows you how easy it is to convert a small car into a micro stealth car camper, and then basically you can sleep anywhere you want. You'll be comfortable, warm and safe, but you can sleep anywhere and nobody knows you are there. I think it is fantastic, and I really enjoy these stealth camps. Anyway, I'm going to head off home soon. Not far to drive up to Sheffield, get my car cleared out, and then it'll take me about 20 minutes to basically convert it back to a simple Peugeot 208 runabout. So if I can thank you for watching, I'll see you on another video soon, and it will be a wild camping one, though this time it will be in a tent. See you soon. Bye then.